What's going on, everybody? Good morning, good evening, or wherever you are, and whatever time it is. Welcome back to yet another video with your man, Immersiaholic. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another online battle for the divided Impera over one for Total War Rome 2. Today, we have your man, Immersiaholic, playing as Epirus, and we are taking on Carthage, played by my good friend, Manco. Massive props to him for going to the effort of playing a bunch of online battles with me. I believe this is number 3, at least the third battle that you guys will be seeing. We did have 4, so there'll be at least one more after this, but I'm hoping many more in the future. But yeah, that is basically all you guys need to know. I'm playing as Epirus, although one little caveat is that I am playing on the 1.2.7 patch for this battle. This battle was recorded quite a while ago. It's just been one of those battles I've been wanting to get around to showing off, but I haven't yet. So here we are. So I'm going to put this in slow motion, I reckon. We have a 17-minute battle, so it's fairly long. That's what she said. Anyway, and I'll go over my battle, my army composition, and then we'll get started. So slow motion while things get started here. I have 4 units of citizen cav, 2 on the left, 2 way on the right. Behind them I have a single light hoplite unit. That's for both flanks as well, so that's the same formation on either side. In the front line we have Agriadian assault infantry, or basically Agriadian axemen. I have 4 units of them, 2 on either flank, and then we go into the center where I have my pike line. I have Greek bronze shield pikemen, and that's it. I have 4 of them, not a lot, but it is enough to form up a substantial main body line, so all in all, it should be more than enough to deal with anything Carthage throws at me in a frontal assault at least. But you'll see I have skirmishers. I know I usually don't bring all that many, but I have a few. Here we have 2 units of Rhodian mercenary slingers at the front, insane range at 215. And then behind them in the rear, we have 2 units of Cretan archers and our general, which is a sacred squadron unit. And like I said, the right flank is mirrored to my left flank over here. That is intentional, by the way. I know some people don't really like that I'll actually do a pretty basic standard formation, but I like to do a reactionary style of gameplay sometimes. It's either I'm doing a reaction gameplay or I'm doing like a rush style build. That's basically my only strengths in online battles. I want to do more tactics in the future, but for now, while I'm still trying to learn how to do online battles well, this is like a good standard formation where I don't really have any major weaknesses, but I also don't really have any major strengths. So it's a pretty neutral position. But anyway, we'll put it on play. We are on a map that has a massive mountain in the middle, and I screwed up by selecting this map because my man Manco actually spawns up here. His deployment zone is up here, so his entire army is up on the hill, obviously where it should be. He has a... Is this a sacred squadron? No, it's just a Carthaginian general bodyguard. 1 unit of citizen cav that we can see on the Carthaginian part, but we'll have to see. Oh wait, there's another one. What was that? Oh no, we just missed it. Okay, that's right. We'll see. But because I did screw up the map selection and I chose this map, I knew Manco would have the advantage. So what I'm trying to do is get away from the hill. So I could have went like way out here, but I didn't want to be pushing too close to the red line. So what I'm going to do instead is kind of swing around the hill up here in this formation and then try to draw him out to fight on like an open field like this. Again, it's a little bit too close to the red line, but I'm trying to avoid it. We'll just have to see how well I can do that. But here is his army, so let's pause it really quickly and go over what he has. Okay, so now that we have it paused, he has a Carthaginian Sacred Band cav unit, very powerful cav. Libyan Thurio Spears, Sacred Band Spearming unit. Libyan thorax swords. He has a few of those. Holy crap, that's a really good unit. How have I never noticed this unit before? That's super powerful. What the hell? Anyway, then he has the general bodyguard, another Libyan sword, another one, and another one. So his main body line consists primarily of 4 thorax swords unit from the Libyan variety. He has at least 2 units of cav over here, 1 citizen cav, sacred band. His elephants in the rear, just some standard low-tier African elephants. Pretty low-tier, but they're still very powerful if you screw up and let them get a good charge against your men. Well, that was these elephants disappearing. I'm just trying to make sure you guys all get to see his army, but basically he's bringing about 4 cavalry, not including his general, elephants, swordsmen, some spearmen, and then some other units that we can't see yet. So I'm forming up a battle line down here to try and draw him out onto like this area where there isn't really much terrain. But after I saw that his elephants are up here, you're going to see me pull away and try to bring him down off the hill a little bit more. Try and form up a battle line either here or over here. Yeah, you can see right now I'm giving the attack order to move to the right. Here is his cavalry, one Numidian cav, citizen cav, and a sacred band cav. So he's pretty heavy on the cav, as he should be. This is Carthage. They're known for their cavalry. He's building up his sacred band hoplites into the center. They are hoplites, even though it doesn't actually have it in the name. Interesting formation so far. You can see I'm basically already at a disadvantage just purely based on terrain. But because I'm using pikemen, I know for a fact my center is going to hold against anything he throws at me unless he has javelin men, which as Carthage they can have some, but they generally don't use a lot. It would have been a really smart counter to bring a lot of javelin to deal with the Greek pikes. But as far as I can tell, he doesn't have any. Is that another sacred band unit? Yep. There's another one there. 1, 2, 3, 4 thorax sword steel. And then this is the Thurio spears. I did not even realize that the Carthaginians had those Greek reform units, the thorax and the Thurios. I don't know how I've ever missed that. How stupid is that? But anyway, you can see I'm trying to rearrange my battle line, figure out exactly what the hell I'm going to do. But my main line of thinking is that I'm going to try and use my skirmishers to try and double team against his cavalry contingents. If I can beat his cav and his elephants, then I'll win the battle easily. My infantry should be better than his. But that's why I'm still playing fairly defensively. I'm trying to get my skirmishers on the wings into position. So right over here is my slingers. These guys, look at that range. They're already in range of some of his cavalry. That's insane. So I'm actually going to get some 3 kills on that side. But on the left-hand flank, I'm having to play pretty defensive because he's trying to threaten an envelopment over here. So I'm just hanging out back here. He's keeping his elephants back in reserve. Very smart call on his part. He needs to hold them back for as long as he can, really. But here comes the 3 kills from my slingers. This is on the Sacred Band cavalry unit too. So this is not a unit that he wants me to get kills on for free. Is that a citizen? Yeah, it is. Wanted to double check. Won't get a lot of kills, but it will get some HP damage. Oh, did we kill one? No, but nearly. But anyway, the battle is continuing. We have 12 more minutes left, so it won't be long until we have a full-fledged assault going on here. But now that he's pulling back his cavalry, he realizes that my slingers here are basically nullifying a direct push against my cavalry. And so I'm going to use and abuse that. So I'm actually going to push forward a little bit to really try and create some space for me. That's basically what I'm trying to do. Still trying to get away from the hill a little bit. Here you can see the ground is not even, but it's almost even. So I'll take this as like our final main battle line right here. He is moving his line to try and compensate. Eventually though, I mean, because he doesn't really have any skirmishes at all, he's probably going to have to be the one that will attack here. But we'll see what kind of moves he makes here. Uh-oh, look over here on the right-hand side. Letting these cavalry get hit by my slingers again. How frustrating must that be for Manco? Oh, and it's in the right-hand side, which is exactly where his shields are not facing. Oh, that's savage. This is why the Rhodian slingers are so good. That range is just lethal, man. How frustrating. Wow, look at that. Oh, he lost a bunch of units at once, all because that unit started to lose its health after they'd taken so much fire. I'm still trying to pull away a little bit. The left-hand flank is super scary because that's where his elephants are. He has only 3 units of cav. It's manageable, maybe. But the elephants, that is what I'm really terrified of. So you're going to see my Cretans come in behind my cavalry, try and support them. I have hoplites right here, the light hoplites that are very mobile, and then I have 2 units of my citizen cav. And I have my general ready to come in. I always try to use my general, but he can come in and support when necessary. Alrighty, so now we're starting to see basically an entire push coming along his whole front line. This front line push is going to make my men hold their position. I can't really keep pulling back because otherwise we'll be facing our backs towards him. He's pulling his cavalry on the right hand flank far back, so I'm actually going to push a little bit further up. Form a nice little line here. Eventually I'm just going to hold it though. I won't keep going. Don't want to overextend because as far as I know he still could have units hidden over here or up on the hill or something like that. And in fact his general is hidden. I can't see his general right now. So what he's going to do, which is very smart, is split my army in half. Look at this move by him. Absolutely perfect kind of move. So I'm going to try and fold my left flank while I'm also pushing out a little bit with some of my infantry, but I ended up cancelling that order just because it was way too risky to push out there. So instead, this battle basically is going to be determined by the left-hand flank right here. We need to hold against it. We do have the red line right here, which is a bit of a shame. I feel like I'm kind of abusing it, but I'm trying not to. I was just trying to get him like out here in like an open field, but I guess even that still would have been pretty bad. So it's unintentional, but it's still not the most polite move. But anyway, this is war, and the elephants are coming in. Here comes my volleys of flaming arrows from my Cretan archers. My cavalry is going to charge into his. We're actually going to get some good charges against him as well. His Numidians won't have anywhere to go. But for some reason, man, I was so frustrated. His elephants would absolutely not begin having a frenzy. We've had like 3 volleys of arrows. 4th one is coming in right now. Flaming arrows, and they are just refusing to panic. These elephants are absolutely tanking it. On the left-hand side, I have my Agrianians pushing into his hoplites and one of his Libyan units. My Agrianians should do really good. His elephants are almost routing for some reason, but they're still not going crazy. Man, that was so frustrating to me. I have 2 Cretan archers absolutely nailing his elephants, and I'm just getting absolutely nothing from it in return. But over here on the far left, we have a massive mess with all of our cavalry. My general's also involved. I will try to pull him in and out a little bit. I'm rotating one of my cavalry units around as well to try and help. He's trying to slide his general in really nicely. So instead we're going to intercept and get a charge with our citizen cav. Not ideal, and I have just lost a Cretan to one of his Libyan units that went around my men. Now his elephants finally go into panic mode. They're out of control, but I mean, they're still running into some of my men, but they're also running into his, so it's a little bit of a 50-50. So what we're going to start doing is peeling off units from the center over to the left, because he's not challenging my center. He knows that he can't beat my pikes. Nothing in his army can. So I basically have to try and use my pikes in any way that I can. So you see right here, I'm moving them forward. They will get charged, which isn't ideal, but I will get them back in pike formation in a second. I took them out of it so they would move faster. So hopefully they'll hurry up and get into it. Cretan archers targeting his general and the elephants, which are still alive. He's only lost 1 elephant so far, despite getting constantly barraged by my Cretan archers. I remember playing this battle and I was so frustrated by that. I couldn't believe how tough these elephants are against Cretan archers. He's got to rout more of my cavalry. He's already routed like 1 unit, I believe. We're about to lose this unit and this unit. My general is getting charged. The left-hand flank is starting to look like it's collapsing, although now, because I realize he isn't doing anything on my right, I'm actually rotating around my slingers, which are targeting his elephants. And I'm also rotating my Agrianians right here. They will come in and provide some good support. They also all have a javelin each, so that will be super useful, although I believe they've already used it by this point. My pikemen got their pikes down finally, so they'll actually win the battle against the thorax swordsmen eventually. Might take a little bit of a while. Elephants are still tanking that fire. 12 out of 18 left. So frustrating, man, but not a lot I can do. I'm targeting it with everything I got. My slingers are moving forward a little bit too close to the main battle line. Bit of a mistake on my part. Now all of my cavalry is coming around to the left-hand flank. I have nothing protecting my right, but he's also rotating his entire army to smash into my left or his right-hand side. Lose a cavalry unit. Another one's about to rout here. My general is in a grind-out fight, but it's winning because it's actually a fantastic unit, and his cav isn't really all that good. It's about medium tier. But finally, the elephants are dead. With those elephants dying, I can now use my slingers to target other units like his cavalry, his general as well, although his general's a little bit far back. You can see right here, I'm just micromanaging this cavalry unit through, and I can charge him into the cavalry over here. Boom, charges into those Numidians. My cav should win that engagement if the Carthaginians don't get reinforcements. Thorax Libyan unit over here is defeated, using some flaming arrows to make sure that they rout for sure. Hopefully they shatter. But look at this cavalry charge, it's coming in. Very bad timing. It's going to crash into my Cretan archers. Absolutely not what I want my Cretans to have to go through, but there's nothing I can do. They just have to take it. My hoplites are trying to come in and support, so we'll see how well they do. My general is still alive though. I am micromanaging him fairly well, but it's just the rest of the battle is not doing too well on my micromanagement. My pikemen are still trying to swing around, get involved in the fighting. This unit will also rotate around shortly. I believe it comes up here, maybe? I'm not sure. Yeah, there it is right there. It's the move order. So we're basically now forming up a line like this, and we're also fighting our cavalry on the far left-hand side. He is trying to outflank me over here, but his units are depleted. 67 out of 100, although this unit is 100 out of 100 still somehow. He's chasing down my generals, so my slingers will try to target them, and I'll get some good kills now. These cavalry units are very damaged. They've lost a lot of their health. His leaving units are not beating my pikemen, and they're attacking head-on. So my pikes will win there. I just need to buy them as much time as possible. My Agrianians are also getting involved, flanking around, hitting straight from the front, trying to charge forward with my pikes. I'm giving a lot of attack orders, but it's very hard to micromanage pikemen. I don't recommend you use them in online battles, but in this battle I knew that it would be difficult to use them. I just wanted to basically deny him any chance of beating my main battle line. Popping off a little rally from my general because it's getting late in the battle now. My units are struggling, but I mean it's kind of almost even here. He's just lost a unit that still had 47 men left. That's rough for him. His general is over here grinding out against one of my cav units. It will win, but it's very basically distracted from the battle, and I might even be able to come out and finish him in a second. We have my Agrianians over here fighting his Furio spears. They'll win easily. Trying to get my general away from his cavalry. Trying to charge him behind my hoplites. Just keep moving around constantly while my slingers continue to bombard him. He hasn't taken out my slingers this whole time. Here comes a charge that might kill him, but it's taken him almost the entire battle to focus on my slingers. And hey, look at that, we did end up routing the cavalry. Very bad for him. He really needs his cav, and he's just lost his general actually. The general is routing off the battlefield. My citizen cav somehow beat him. That's insanely unlucky for him. It's starting to look a lot more like it's back in my favor. Epirus is still going strong. We have all of our pikemen. We've lost very few of them. Our lowest pikeman unit is 234 out of 256. So you can start to see now he's finally being punished for not having any skirmishers in his army. Getting rear charges on his infantry now, although he still does have one unit of cav that I have to deal with. Still trying to chase down my general. If he gets my general, it could end the battle. I'm dropping a rally to keep all my units still in the fight. My slingers are now out of ammunition, I believe, so they're coming into attack. As are my pikemen right here, so his cavalry should, in theory, crash into my pikes head on, which is exactly not what he wants. Super rough for him now. It's not really all that much he can do. He can do some rear charges here. These Libyans are about to rout anyway. Unlucky that I lost that cav unit, but they did a lot. 38 men left. That's not too bad. I won't complain. Oh no, my Rhodians did have more ammo. Oh wow. Here it comes now. My general charges in support with his Rhodians dropping in fire. The hoplites are coming in as well. Light hoplites are actually doing pretty good to support my cavalry. We will get some friendly fire on our general, but the main thing is getting these cavalry units to rout. If I can, then the battle is easily ours, although it is starting to look more and more like an Epirus victory. We're starting to wrap around with our pikemen. We're holding in the center right here, pushing on the left-hand side, and his units have been stuck out here fighting, all on their own. You can see all the dead bodies out here in the middle of nowhere. Meanwhile, my main battle line has just been wrapping up his center and left-hand flank. We are outflanking the enemy spearmen and hoplites with our pikemen. That's not really something you get to say too much. See here, I take them out of the pike formation to get a good charge in. Get that unit routed off the battlefield. His cavalry is just routed. My general has routed. Off he goes in a distance, but it doesn't matter. It is way, way too late. We get a close victory. Epirus beats Carthage on the battlefield. Now let's check out the stats really quickly. Alrighty, here we are at the statistics screen. You can see none of my units really stood out all that much, but they all basically contributed fairly evenly. The majority of my units had at least 50 kills or more, although somehow my Cretan archers had only 20 between the two battalions. That's insane. I'm still beyond triggered that these elephants did so well after they were targeted for so long. But yeah, if you guys have any input about that, let me know in the comments below on why his elephants tanked so many shots. But wow, that was crazy. My cavalry, they only got around 37, 40, 56, 12 kills. It's not very good, but it is going up against the excellent Carthaginian cavalry. And they did their job. They stopped most of his cavalry from just swinging around my battle lines and killing my units really quick. He only really ever had like one unit of cav behind my battle line. And so I'm pretty happy with that, especially considering I had only 5 units of cav, including my general, and he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plus elephants. So he came in with some very good, like elite tier cavalry, and he brought a lot of it, and we still were able to fend them off with what I had. My Agrianians came in very clutch, 166 kills, 128, 99, 76. That's excellent kills for those units. They're fairly cheap to recruit, so I wasn't really too let down about that. My pikemen, they didn't get a lot of kills, but they're mostly still intact. So that shows that even though they were fighting for quite a while, especially on my left-hand flank, their defense and their armor kept them going in the battle for quite a while, and there's nothing he can really do against pikes. He doesn't have any skirmishers in his army. Oh, he actually had a Gallic spear unit right here, I didn't realize. Oh, that's interesting. I wonder where that was during the battle, I didn't realize. My light hoplites, not massively helpful, but I mean 57 kills for very little loss. I'll take that. It's a pretty cheap unit, and they were targeting his cavalry. 8 kills on my other hoplite. Not great, but again, they helped contribute basically to killing his cav. And after we killed his cav, the battle was definitely over. His elephants needed at least twice, maybe 3 times more of those kills to have a chance. My skirmishers did pretty good, like my slingers, especially denying him any kind of push on my right-hand flank. And that's why, even though he had all of these numbers of cav, I was able to basically nullify that by making him go around my left-hand side instead of my right. So my man Manco did excellent. He had a very interesting army, super cav heavy with some elite tier units, but the pikes of Epirus won the day for your man Epirus Emergeholicus. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I shall see you in the next one.